We're going to catch some big waves today, brah.
We're going to hang 10.
Yeah, we're going to dip stick and use all the sex wax.
Oh, do you know what sex wax is? You know some freaky shit?
That's right. We're talking about surfing today, and we're talking about the greatest American surf movie ever made. Point Break.
Are
you trying to shush us? What's going on?
Oh,
No,
he
I
was
was
being
trying
the
to.
ocean.
I was trying to add some ocean sounds to the intro.
I thought he was just like having a nap time or something.
Yeah, don't bother me, guys.
Yeah.
I'm at my Point Break.
Oh, no.
I'm at my pointing break.
Yeah, is what I meant to say.
I watched this movie and I thought, if you put these words backwards and add ing, you get breaking point. You could have called the movie Breaking Point. I also predicted at some point a character would reach their breaking point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they did.
But if it sucked, you could have called it Breaking Bad. But then it would become a great show, so it wouldn't work.
That's debatable. Do you like Breaking Bad? Because I think it stinks.
I think it's a great show,
Okay.
but
Agree to
it's not
disagree.
as good. It's not like the best show ever. Like,
Well,
yeah.
I think it's trash and.
You really you don't like it? I've
We're
never
on
seen it.
opposite sides of
I've
the
never
fence
seen it, but I've never heard anyone talk shit on it, so I'm interested.
It's
You don't
good.
like
I
it?
mean, to be the first.
Okay.
It's overrated.
Okay.
It's
stupid,
definitely overrated. It's definitely
it's
overrated.
Boring.
All right. Wow.
I thought it was a good
And-
show, but it's not that
and
good.
Totally unrealistic.
Okay.
Not believable at all. So, thanks for watching. I give Breaking Bad 0 popcorn shakes.
Yeah, thank you for
Good
watching.
night.
Good night.
Thanks. If this was the Breaking Bad episode, it'd be over. But we're
Luckily,
gonna
it's
talk
not.
about- We're talking
Luckily.
about Point Break.
Point
Another
Break.
overrated show, The Wire. Let's get into Point Break.
This is a movie I
Let's talk about all
chose.
the overrated shows. Leftovers.
No, that was good.
That movie's great.
Sopranos.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
all right. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Fred Penner's Place.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Okay, that I'm
Morphin
with.
Power
Fuck
Rangers.
Fred Penner, dude. He
Ooh.
thinks he's got the best show
What else
ever.
do you like?
Penner's Place. Of all things to pull out Rocco shows.
Wait, Fred Penner's Place was
That's a
was on the
Rocco
list.
show.
You're just listening to all these Rocco shows, and Fred Penner's Place made it pretty high up there.
Fred Penner's
actually.
Place is just a show that I'm the only one who mentions it. That's
why
not
it's a
on my.
Rocco show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's fair.
That's why it's a
Yeah,
Rocco show.
you got me on that
It's
one.
overrated.
Okay.
Literally, no one else has seen it but you. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Kevin has seen it, but we're not. He's in there.
Oh.
We're not going to get him in here. Anyway.
Anyways, this movie I chose, I knew nothing about it.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I just thought it was a surfing movie starring Keanu Reeves, and that's literally all I knew walking into this. I honestly, what I did is I went through HBO Max and like circled off movies I've heard about or seen like the box of and never saw. So like I have this, I have a whole other list of things I'm going to choose later. So I just chose it randomly and did not realize there was crime involved. Didn't realize anything here. So I was in for a real surprise once the movie started.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember as a kid seeing promos for a movie with all the presidents in it. Like they all had presidential masks. And I was like, whoa, what a freaky movie. And for some reason, never put two and two together that it was the surf movie. Like
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was this movie. You know what I mean? So I was surprised too. I didn't know that was.
And Derek, you said you had seen this
Nice.
before?
Yeah, I've seen this movie like when I was 10 years old.
Oh.
I feel like this was, a classic 90s action movie right up there with Speed and Die Hard with a Vengeance. All these movies where basically cops are driving around the city shooting guns at people, not reading them their rights or following any sort of protocol. I loved movies like that growing up, so I definitely seen this movie. You know what? I think I remembered this movie being great, and then I watched it now, and it was like, it's not like it was any different from what I remembered.
Right.
I just think that the landscape of movies has changed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is necessarily a bad movie, but I think that the ingredients in this movie don't have the same punch that they had back in 1991.
Yeah.
Sure.
This whole idea of, what if bank robbers were like cool surfers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was badass when I was a kid.
Yeah,
And I
like,
watch
how could that be,
And I
you
watch
know?
it now and I'm like, yeah, no, they surf.
Yeah.
And they rob banks. It's all there.
Yeah.
It's true. They do it.
This movie made me think about Rocco's review of Fuller House. Because it's maybe a little off.
Whoa.
But like,
Yeah, now you're
this
getting
movie
harsh.
itself.
You didn't like it, but you liked watching it?
But here's the thing. Maybe it's not exactly the same. I did like it, but also I can recognize this isn't good. Like I'm liking this and I'm enjoying this ride that we're going on. I find 1,000 plot holes, and
Yeah.
it's like, this is all dumb, but I'm not like mad at it. I'm just kind of like, this is stupid.
I think it's a well-made movie made out of a bunch of shitty pieces. Like the acting sucks. The story is super basic and completely filled with plot holes.
So many.
But at the same time, it's Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah.
She made Zero Dark 30. James Cameron ghost wrote this
Right.
film, doctored it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Patrick Swayze is really charming in this movie. I think Keanu Reeves does a good job. Individually, I think everything sucks, but you put it all together and the sum is more than the parts.
Even Gary Busey is like charming somehow in this movie, which
Yeah,
I don't think
which
I've ever
never
once said
happens.
about Gary Busey. Like, I don't know. It's
You know what's
weird.
funny is I had only ever known Gary Busey for this movie, so he had this reputation of being a psychopath, and I was like, oh, the like older cop from Point Break. What's so bad about that guy? He's a fun character.
Yeah.
And I still never got the answer. What's so wrong with Gary Busey? I don't know.
Well, let me just say, I just want to throw this in here real quick. I'm so looking forward to when he dies because.
Oh, my God.
Oh, sorry. Let me explain that. Tim and Eric recorded an episode of Tom Goes to the Mayor with him, and there is a whole story behind that where he wouldn't leave until like 2 a.m. and was like throwing such a fit, and like he had like 10 lines to read for a cameo and like wouldn't do them.
What was his fit?
He just kept like doing them over and over again. Like, it's not right. It's not right. You don't know how to direct. You don't, what's wrong with you guys? They were just like, oh my God, how do we get this guy out of here? And, you know, at one point they left the camera running, behind the scenes camera running. And he like, he insisted on mango orange juice to drink during his role, and then like he spilled it everywhere while they were out of the room, and like was rubbing it into the carpet and like all kinds of crazy stuff. And they show this video at their live shows sometimes, but they won't release it online until he is dead. So
So that's why you are eagerly awaiting.
So you can watch the
we're
video
gonna
again.
get a funny ass
Get this.
video.
Gary Busey spills the juice and rubs it into the carpet.
yeah.
It's
video.
worth him dying
It's
over.
gonna-
That footage
How
is so
long?
good.
It's really funny,
How
you
long
know.
do you have to wait after somebody dies before you can release a
Dude,
video
day
them
of.
making a mess?
I'm letting you guys know when I die, you can within an hour do it.
All right.
I guarantee.
Here's the juice
It'll be
fiasco
fun.
with Rocco.
You're not going to like it.
Soften the you are gonna like it. No, but anyway, but yeah, he like does like he's suited for this movie. I think it's like, yeah, I mean, I think he's totally I totally agree with what you're saying. It's like, it is a lot of maybe bad things on their own, but it comes together into a movie that it's funny. I really think this movie, it came out in what, 91?
91, yeah.
I really think this movie is kind of a catalyst for how many things that, at least with my friends in the 90s, how many things that people thought were cool in that decade. You know, this movie had, you know, look how cool surfing is, and look, all skydiving, and
Right.
all these things, all like the extreme kind of sports of the 90s, and you know, the way people looked and stuff. I feel like this movie felt like a transition out of the cheesy 80s movies into like
Yeah, 90s
the
movie.
cool 90s
Yeah,
movie.
I
You know,
think,
it's kind of interesting.
Criticizing this movie, there is a lot to criticize.
Sure.
But it does, I think, kind of set the tone for a 90s action movie.
Yes,
I was
I
watching
agree.
this movie
Yeah.
being like, when was this made? Like 1995? And then I looked, it was 1991.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that surprised me because it felt like a later 90s movie. So to see it come out so early, I felt like, oh, well, maybe this movie must have influenced the look. Maybe not, because this movie is also set in LA. Maybe it just captures the look of like Los Angeles in the 90s.
Maybe.
Whatever it is, I feel like it still holds up. Whatever style this movie has, I feel like is still evident here in 2021. Now, there was a 2015 remake of this movie. I haven't seen that.
Oh, whoa, what?
Yeah, but I feel like you don't need a 2015 remake because
No.
this movie still looks cool. This movie still feels young and hip.
Yeah.
You don't watch this movie and think like, oh, Patrick Swayze's dead now, which he is.
Right, right.
You know, it's just like, oh, this guy's like cool, and I want to go hang out with.
But you know
Bodhi.
what though? I was realizing is like the style of this movie, the way people are dressed, still holds up. Like, you know, you would think early 90s and they'd be wearing like the parachute pants, all that shit. Like they were
Yeah.
wearing clothes that you would see people wearing today. So maybe that's what it is. But it's like it's not too outdated, you know?
Yeah, it didn't go so far into,
Yeah. You see some hippie surfer guys wearing the same things today as you will back then, for sure. I don't know.
All right, let's do some popcorn shakes. No, wait.
Oh,
we have
shit,
to,
we got
have
more.
to talk about the movie, not just what we thought about it. Let's get into it. We're going to do a plot synopsis of Point Break. We're going to spoil the entire movie. If you haven't watched it yet, pause this and go watch it on HBO Max for free. Come back in about 2 hours and 9 minutes and then hit resume because we're getting into it right now.
We'll wait here for 2 hours and 9 minutes. You don't even have to pause it. That's how much we love our patrons.
Yeah, we'll pretend like we're watching it with you.
We'll just sit in silence.
Dun, dun, dun. Wow, the credits. Oh my God, we're at the beach.
Oh, I'm back to this now.
Let's look at slow-mo surfing. Whoa. Let's see that for our 15 minutes. Whoa.
So the movie opens.
This time I was actually shushing you, but that's okay.
The movie opens with a shot of the beach and some slow-mo surfing, and then it's funny because Catherine Bigelow, the woman who directed this, was married to James Cameron at the time.
Right.
And I feel like this has a Terminator 2 title. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah, it
Point
is.
Break.
Yeah.
If you replace this with the Terminator 2 music,
Yep.
it's the same
Oh,
effect.
my God.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, totally.
dun, 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 Point Break.
You know what I thought was interesting was I was watching this with Jenny and Emma and Beckett, and then Jenny was like, they were married when they made this, right? She made this? I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Until the next movie.
The answer is yes, but they were only married for 2 years. So they made this movie and then essentially got divorced. Like, it's weird how like the time frame of that worked out. Where they were married, and I'm sure that he had influence. Especially that title sequence. You're right, is exactly Terminator 2.
Yeah, I heard that he rewrote the script but couldn't get credit for it.
So
Yeah.
the Writers Guild said no.
Yeah. But it's interesting. I hadn't even thought about, in watching all this, I hadn't even thought about the James Cameron aspect of it because, or no, I hadn't considered, they were married. And I just think about a year later, we got Terminator 2. And I remember, Sean, when you saw it for the first time, you said this, you were like, I feel like 90s movies all took from this. Like, this was you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like between these two people, they kind of defined a lot of the
whole
style of what
decade.
was cool in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's just interesting. I hadn't considered like that this couple had kind of spawned both of those.
Catherine
Anyway.
Bigelow, by the way, went on to direct The Hurt Locker and
Yeah.
Zero Dark 30, won Academy Awards, Best Picture. She's considered to be like the greatest living female director in America, which is evident and not evident in this film. I wouldn't watch this
Sure.
movie and say it sucks, but I wouldn't watch this movie and think,
Brilliant
give this director a couple of years. They're going to be winning fucking
Yeah.
Oscars.
Yeah.
But I will say there were some, like the chase sequence we'll get to later on in the movie. Like this, it looked great. It was cool, like directing and cool, like, you know, I don't know. There were some parts that were fucking cool. There were some parts, especially the beginning with the slow motion surfing. I was like, oh, okay, I got it.
I didn't mind
Fucking
that.
got
I
it.
liked it.
Oh,
I
did
liked
you?
the surfing. And so you see surfing, and then it cuts to an FBI training center, and you see a badass with the shotgun. Clack, clack. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Shooting these targets.
Yeah.
It's like Hogan's Alley, right?
Yeah,
That Nintendo
love
game.
Hogan's
It's
Alley.
exactly taken from Hogan's
Yeah.
Alley. This is our introduction to the two opposing forces in this movie. Keanu Reeves.
As you know, I'm gonna say it. I think Johnny Utah may be my favorite character name we've ever come across.
yeah.
You hear that name and you think
Johnny
that's
Utah.
a cool fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Utah. That's dope. That's cool.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves played the character Johnny Utah and the character Johnny Mnemonic.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So I think give this guy one more cool Johnny name. We're going to have a perfect trilogy of character names. His name in The Matrix should have been like Johnny Computers.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Johnny Hacks.
Yeah, Johnny
Johnny
Hacks.
Hacks. That's
Johnny
way
Hacks
cooler.
sounds like that sounds close to
Oh, fuck. Johnny Wick.
Oh,
they
You
beat
got
me
it.
to it.
You got
They
it.
beat me to it.
Oh man.
Fuck, dude.
Damn.
Didn't think about it. Good thinking.
John Wick is older, but if we would have seen
That's
him
a
in
great
his 20s,
call.
he would have been Johnny Wick.
Damn, dude.
Damn.
So Keanu Reeves plays the best character's name, John/Johnny, officially.
Yeah. Maybe he's got to be a John Doe in some movie. I'm sure he is. Johnny Doe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure. We'll search.
We'll look into it.
We'll look at IMDb or something.
So Johnny Utah, which the name was inspired by Joe Montana. I don't know if you.
And Joe Montana and Johnny Unitas.
Yeah.
So you combine those, you get you get it.
They should have gone with Joe Unitas
That
because
is-
he unites everybody, and he's the average Joe. Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been so good.
Yeah.
They fucked up.
Catherine, you blew it.
So Johnny Unitas, I'm gonna be calling him that all day. Johnny Unitas, he gets hired at the Los Angeles department, the FBI Department of Bank Robberies, and immediately he meets his boss, which is the dude from Scrubs.
Yes.
I don't remember that actor's name.
Me neither, but he's a great character actor, and he's great at playing the same character.
Oh, he was in. I never watched Scrubs,
He's also
so I
in
didn't
Office
realize.
Space, right?
He's in. Yeah, that's what I knew him from. I'm like, oh, the Office Space guy. I've always thought that guy was great. I can't tell you his name.
No, but he's the same character in everything he plays.
Yeah,
right?
and I think he's awesome. I
Yeah.
actually think he's great. Yeah. Anyway,
It's funny because as an actor, I was watching this movie thinking like, I want to play the role of Keanu Reeves' boss in this movie. I think that'd be a fun role to play.
Yes.
The pissed off cop boss. You know, I don't like your surfboard. I don't like your approach to this case. And I don't like you, Johnny Utah.
yeah.
I would be good at that role.
Yeah, you would.
Um,
When they
the-
remake the remake, we'll get that.
Yeah,
that
when
role.
they do it for a third time and
They-
even less people watch it, then I'll get my shot.
God, they really did remake it. I
Yeah,
forgot.
and nobody cares. Like,
I think that and the remake of Total Recall take the record for the most Who Cares remake. Like those are like happened and went, yeah, good.
Even
and
the Total Recall remake I heard about. This I didn't even know existed.
yeah, I feel that way. I saw the movie Fright Night for the first time, which is an 80s vampire movie.
yeah, they remade
and then
that
found
too.
out they made a remake with like Colin Farrell. And I was
What
like,
the
Yeah,
fuck?
and whatever Doctor Who I think was in it.
Yeah,
What's
Doctor
his
Who.
name? No, really, the guy who was
I think
one of
you're
them.
right, yeah.
Anyway, why?
So,
anyway,
Johnny Utah. In this scene, we get to see everything that Johnny Utah's about. They're telling him like, "Oh, in this branch, I don't like our agents that drink alcohol, and you definitely can't smoke." And he goes, "Oh, I peeled the skin off my chicken, sir." Oh, you're gonna be a good kid. Keanu Reeves, by the way. This is his first action movie. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I am not aware of
and
that.
his last, he
And-
did not like the genre.
And critics, I was reading, were worried that Keanu Reeves was going to ruin his promising acting career.
Whoa.
Because up until this point, he had only done like artsy films and like
Oh, yeah.
teenage comedies.
Yeah.
But then I'm watching this movie and be like, this guy can't act. Like, what acting career?
Yeah.
He's a pretty face.
He was kind of destined for and that's what honestly, like Keanu, you can make fun of his acting. I think for certain roles he is like perfect. You know,
Yeah.
like Speed is like fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that, like he's great in that kind of role, you know. Yeah, and I think he was, yeah, there's times I think he's corny in this, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
We meet his partner, played by Gary Busey, at this time in the movie as well, a guy named Angelo Papas. Angelo Papas.
That's a weird name.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it over and over because I don't feel like that ever came across. I don't know if that was conveyed in the movie.
I don't think it was.
His name was Angelo Papas.
Like Papas. Now I don't know Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. But when I worked at Chili's, Papas, when you ever yelled
potatoes,
at
right?
it's potatoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They whenever like the QA would go, hey,
Yeah.
we need some more Papas. I'd be
Yeah.
like, we need like French fries.
and Angelo is angel, like so.
Angel potato.
Angel potatoes.
Cool.
That's his partner.
Nice.
Gary Busey plays Special Agent Angel Potatoes.
Gary Busey also plays my favorite kind of role. I think I'm gonna plant my flag here. My favorite role in any movie is always the tough cop that says this specific type of phrase. I was hitting the streets when you were sucking your mama's tit, or when you were jacking off to the Sears catalog. I feel like that is 7 different lines in this movie,
It is.
and any cop, any
I
good
think-
cop role should say that.
Any movie, there's a lot of movies from the early 90s that have like these old war veterans. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's like
yeah.
Vietnam
I
thing
think maybe it was.
or whatever.
Must have been. Yeah, it must have been.
All these movies have these tough guys that want to tell you how long they've been tough for, like
Mm-hmm.
Rock
Yeah.
goes, yeah, and I think he has the line like, "I've been on this job since you were smearing shit on your face as
Yeah.
your diapers."
Which that one I didn't even understand. Who did that? I didn't do that.
You guys didn't do that?
Smear
Oh,
shit
it's-
on my
it's
face?
awesome.
No,
I
what are you
love
doing?
doing-
Like
yeah.
Predator? Like
See,
you're
to-
hiding?
Yeah.
To Gary Busey, that's a normal thing. Kids do.
That's what kids do.
Yeah.
Busey, yeah.
I remember when it was like that.
Dude,
fucking
so you
Jake Busey did that all the time.
smearing shit
all
all
the
over my
time.
face.
I'm not with Busey. Ooh.
Gary
Some
Busey
people
has a
get that.
scene where they introduce his character by they're doing a test at a pool where they're blindfolding special agents and making them fish bricks out of the bottom of a pool.
Yeah.
I would have quit there.
Yeah, what
Doesn't
in
look
what
fun.
world did Okay.
I actually think Gary Busey had a funny line here. I've been on the job 22 years, and I fired my piece 19 times in the line of duty, and I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
getting bricks out of the bottom of a pool has to do with being an FBI agent.
Yeah.
And then he like jumps in doing a backflip. Cowabunga! Oh, Gary, you're so crazy.
Classic Gary.
Then we get to meet the bad guys in a bank robbery, and they are called the Ex-Presidents. They are a gang of robbers that wear masks that represent. They're masks of all these ex-presidents, like Reagan, LBJ, Nixon, and Jimmy Carter.
When this part started, I was like, whoa, like what is happening here? Like first off, the masks look fucking cool. Like this is great. Like I didn't know we were getting a bank robbery in this movie. I was amped, honestly.
Yeah, I remember as a kid thinking the ex-president gimmick was so cool. And then as an adult, I'm like, well, anybody could have thought of that. Like, I don't know. Again, there's so much of this that when I was a kid watching this in the 90s was mind-blowing. And then now I'm like, yeah, still pretty good, but not so much of a punch.
I think if I can point this out, I think it had a definite inspiration on you, Derek, seeing that at a young age, because a lot of the things that you write in Mega64 a lot of times have like a group of bad guys with like, animal masks or something like that. I remember thinking that was really, that's not something I would have thought of.
Right.
Like for version 2, when we did that, I was
Yeah.
just like, that's a clever idea, whatever. And then when I saw this, I was just like, yeah.
You definitely are like right, because we did do an action scene and everybody had animal masks.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was a theme. And this movie, I think, did leave a lingering effect on me of like group of bad guys wearing the mask.
Yeah.
Interesting that you say that. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
It also
Well,
was off for-
I was just gonna say, you do that to me a lot too, where you'll point out, like, here's a movie I saw a billion times when I was a kid, and I think in my head it's dumb kids movie, and you'll point that out to me, where it's like, I think this had an effect on you. I was like, really?
Yeah.
So
You
I had to
never know
return.
what gets in there.
I had to return the favor.
Yeah. I was gonna say it also works out for us because we kept having different people being able to help us that day, so we could just recast them by putting different masks
Well,
on
they
them.
did
Yeah.
that in this movie too. Patrick Swayze wasn't even in the foot chase. He was promoting the movie Ghost, so they put somebody else in
Oh, I
See?
didn't know that.
in the Reagan mask. That comes later in the movie. Because at this point in the movie, we don't even know who the bank robbers are.
Yeah. We don't think it's the real Reagan.
Yeah, we're wondering.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
They leave that
But
mystery.
wouldn't it be fucking cool? That's a movie that it really was Reagan, and he was wearing a mask of himself. No one would suspect that.
That seriously, no movie has ever had a bunch of actual ex-presidents in it. What an amazing gag that would be. If a movie came out and they did something like this and they take them out and it's like, they got George Bush and Bill Clinton in a movie.
And they're robbers, and they wore masks of themselves to rob the bank.
Dude.
I don't know if they
Okay.
get George Bush. He's like in a wheelchair.
No, the second one.
Oh, no, that guy, he's dead.
Like one sneeze
The
away
W
from
one.
dying.
Yeah, I'm talking W.
He's away from dying.
Yeah, he's on his way out.
Then they shouldn't cast him. It wouldn't be prudent. Anyway.
So the ex-presidents, that's all the FBI knows. These guys are ex-presidents. Oh, here is a key plot point. They show ass when they run out of the bank robbery.
That's the way to end a robbery
The
right there.
ex-presidents moon everybody that they just robbed, and they wrote thank you on their butt. This will come into play later in the movie. Remember that there's an ass in this robbery.
Yeah.
They do have it on the screen for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then they have it in the background because it's a freeze frame of this picture for a very long time.
They want these cheeks to burn into your brain.
Yeah, this is a critical asshole.
Yeah, it really is. This might be the most iconic pair of butt cheeks in film history.
Probably.
Could be.
Possibly.
I'm
Next
try- I'm
to
trying
what,
think,
like Borat or something,
yeah.
maybe?
What's the real question? What is the most iconic ass shot, butt cheek shot in
man.
film history? When you think of seeing somebody's butt in a movie, what is your go-to?
Damn, I don't know.
I don't know either. I think
When you say like an ass in a movie, I'm not saying this is my answer. I think of Borat. I think like, oh God, like it was like a gut punch. But
think-
what's the most important? I don't know. Well, that's tough.
yeah, it might be this movie. It might
could be.
This one factors into the plot.
Yeah, I've never had that happen, so I've never seen that happen.
I've never seen somebody show ass to the camera and then have it be a plot point that is critical to the film succeeding. Anyways, so they don't know who these robbers are at the FBI. They've been investigating these guys. These are like the best bank robbers in the world. They've done 30 jobs. They only operate for 4 months out of the year, and then they disappear. We just lost a light. Don't worry about it.
It looks good.
Now we look even more dramatic. And Angelo Papas, Officer Angel Potatoes, has a special theory that everybody in the police department, the FBI bureau, laughs at him about. They make fun of him to the point where he's embarrassed to share his theory. Keanu Reeves gets into an argument with him when they're investigating a car that is related to the
that's
robbery.
they dumped a car and that was the car.
Yeah, they find the getaway car. They go to investigate it, and he's like, "So, Angelo Papas, what's your theory?" Don't ask me. I've been working this job so many goddamn years, and he is emotionally blocked about the fact that nobody wants to hear his theory.
It really is the fact that he might make fun of once, and now he's so hurt by that he won't he's willing to do anything but tell him his theory. It's just tell him.
I only bring it up
He's your partner.
It wasn't that this scene was especially bad. It was just so corny.
Yeah.
This was so typical of every 80s/90s cop movie where it was so you think because you haven't solved the crime, nobody else could possibly have a chance of doing it? That's not what I'm saying, kid. Nobody takes me seriously. Well, you need to get fucking angry if you want to solve this crime. They're surfers! They're surfers, all right?
That's pretty it. I mean,
that's how they
I was dealing with surfers when you were playing with Legos on your mama's tit.
There was something about getting someone in a movie so mad that they told you what you wanted to know. It's could we skip that part? You just tell me. Just tell me, Gary.
This movie has all the police cliches.
Yeah.
It does. It really does.
It's got this stuff, the thing I mentioned earlier, and I mean, I don't want to jump ahead too much, but anytime you see someone hold a badge, they're either gonna give it up on the table or throw it.
Yeah.
And so you got that too.
Oh, dude, we'll get that later. But I called that a mile away.
The whole time they're having this argument, by the way, I was cracking up because they're investigating a car and there's other police officers just working in the background who just seem to be looking over their shoulder while these two are having a fucking shouting match. Just
they're really mad.
Oh, they're arguing about surfers over
not
there.
too
It's
happy.
the most classic background actors. Do I pay attention to this really loud argument or not? They don't know what to do. So then Keanu Reeves, he's like, whoa, surfers. How? And Gary Busey has all this evidence, they discovered wax on the bottom of the shoe that was left at the crime scene,
And then
it was surfers.
it's
Mr.
sex
Zog,
wax.
sex wax.
Yeah, which is again I mean, I feel like the term sex wax is very common. Everyone knows.
Sex wax is a thing with surfers. That's a legit product.
And that's why I thought, when I saw that, because as a kid, that was a joke. Oh, you got sex wax?
Yeah.
Whatever. But then they're explaining it I'm is this because no one knew? Is that that was such a common thing? But we're in California. Maybe that's just a common thing here.
Yeah, we're from California. We're of the culture.
Yeah, so exactly. I've been around surfers my whole life. So everyone has sex wax. I get it. I have sex wax.
Well, let me tell you that this was a revelatory scene for me because I never knew what sex wax was. And when I was a kid in school, I remember going to 6th grade camp and we did a hike and someone had stuck sex wax stickers on so many things along the trail, and our counselor was getting so pissed off. And as a kid, I was like, what is sex wax? What do you do with that? I thought it was a sex thing. I didn't know.
Well, yeah, okay.
I didn't know anything.
Well,
So
as a camp counselor, finding a fucking 10-year-old putting stickers all over the trees on the nature trail.
Sure, he's pissed about that
I don't
too.
care what the stickers are.
Oh, absolutely.
We're here to appreciate nature.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. But I never knew where it was and what it was, and I kept getting pogs that had that on it too.
Yeah.
When I would play pogs with people, I'd win it, and it's sex wax pogs. Can I just get a Mega Man one or something? Anyway.
Well, there you go.
So this I'm
Now
glad
we
to
know.
put
So
it
that
to
conversation made sense.
rest. Yeah.
So it has to be surfers. Crazy theory. Angelo Papas and Johnny Utah are gonna go undercover, and I don't know if they run this by their boss or not. But so
You
funny.
just keep saying Angelo Papas like that, which is
Papas.
funny. But the
his
fact that in real life, Gary Busey played the character Angelo Papas is hilarious.
They
Like, you
never-
are right to do
This
this.
this movie
They
does
never
have the best.
say his name in the movie because they know it's stupid.
Yeah.
That is so fucking funny. Angela Papas is played by Gary Busey.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
But going back to, do they run this by their boss? Don't they say like, let's do it? It's gonna piss our boss off, so let's just do it. So I don't think they do.
I don't know. Yeah.
I thought they made it clear, like, let's just do it because, like, we know this plan will work, and it's just gonna piss him off. Win-win. So
yeah, but again,
I thought
like,
they did.
I don't know how the FBI works.
Yeah.
If two agents could just
Go rogue.
fucking spend a month learning how to surf without telling their boss that's what they're doing all day. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Like they're-
you take vacation time or what?
There's so many things like also he's learning how to surf, and Gary Busey is watching him from a car with binoculars,
Yeah.
and then Emma's like, "Why couldn't he just be on the beach? Like he's just an old man. Like people are on the beach. Like why can't he just be like chilling like with by a
doesn't wanna blow
cooler?
his cover.
Like, what cover? He's just
Because
like,
in a cop movie, you got to stake him out from your old car.
it seems way more suspicious
how
that
it
a
works.
guy is in his car with binoculars than a dude just sits on the beach looking at the waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Keanu Reeves doesn't know how to surf in this movie, so he tries to learn how to surf. Everybody makes fun of him. He almost drowns, and he's rescued by a girl that I could only describe as somebody who looks like Garrett would be in love with.
But okay,
Am I right? I saw
Yeah.
this girl, and I was like, this looks like every
Well-
90s actress
Yeah.
that Garrett says, I'm in love with that
she
girl."
was in all the '90s movies, so it makes sense. She
I
was
was-
in Tank Girl.
That's literally was my
Oh,
next
it was
question. I'm like,
Tank
was she
Girl.
was she in Take Girl?
Tank
Yeah.
Girl,
was
A
Tank
League of
Girl.
Their Own, some other big movie that she was in. But yeah, she was in all the '90s movies.
It's
Yeah.
the actress Lori Petty.
What was the other movie? Yeah, Lori Petty.
And she plays a girl named Tyler Endicott. I think this was hilarious. I don't know why this was funny to me, and I know this is going to be fucked up,
Okay.
the next part of the movie. He gets rescued by this girl named Tyler Endicott, and he thinks, oh, I don't know why. He goes, this girl must know something. I got to get in good with this girl. This girl's going to help me infiltrate whatever I'm looking for. They're looking for some gang. They think they're surfers. He runs a background check on this girl and finds out that both her parents died
Oh yeah.
in a plane crash
Oh.
in San Diego in 1980. By the way, side note, there really was a plane crash in San Diego. I was watching that and I was
did
like,
the
oh, the
research.
plane that
Yeah.
went down in North Park.
In '84. I think it was '84.
in this movie they say 1984, but in real life it happened in 1978. And then it turned into a conversation between me and my girlfriend, who's like, what are you talking about? And then I told her the whole story of like, yeah, the airport at San Diego used to be too small and they only had one runway and two airplanes came in at the same time and had a midair collision and the plane went down in a neighborhood here in San Diego called North Park. And apparently there were body parts littering the streets
Yeah.
back in 1978.
God.
Damn, dude.
Anyways, it's relevant because they base this character's parents'
Yeah. And
death off of that accident.
she was also in Free Willy. That's the one was.
I was just
Oh,
about
yeah.
to say that.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, the plane crash. Oh, and she was in Free Willy. Right. Yeah. Let's get back on track.
Yeah.
Anyways, Keanu Reeves does his background check, finds out both her parents are dead, and then goes to meet her where she works and feeds her this story of, I need you to teach me how to surf. I hate you. I'm not going to teach you how to surf. Well, something like, surfing's the only thing I've ever done for myself since both my parents died in a car crash. Cue cheesy music, and she's like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's probably something you could never understand because it never happens to anybody, but they're gone, and the ocean just called to me, and I just really want to learn how to surf.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically the whole scene.
It is okay. This part is stupid, but I'm watching it thinking if Keanu Reeves walked in and told any girl this story, she'd go with him. Like he's so fucking charming and like good looking in this. Like yeah, they'd fall for it for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. So she agrees, and she takes him and starts teaching him how to surf and introduces him to her friends, a big group of friends, and the alpha male of the group is played by Patrick Swayze, a guy named Bodie.
Bodie.
Now, Sean and Rocco, you guys have never. This is your first viewing of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think Bodie was a suspicious character?
From second one,
Yeah.
it's like, well, he's the guy,
Right?
Like, there's like no way it's not him. There's no way.
Yeah, again, it's funny. I didn't know anything about this movie. I always just saw both of them on the cover. So when we met him, I'm just like, doesn't this guy have to be the good guy? I thought I always saw them like together. I had an idea in my head, but yeah, I mean, as it went on, it was like, okay.
I thought for sure it was him right away, and then like it was some weird like football scene. That football scene was weird. Am I crazy thinking like this is like I don't know like it is? Is out of nowhere?
I loved it, and I don't know why. But when I first saw this movie as a 10-year-old kid, it was pretty much like I would watch movies and then I would go out into the street and play football with my friends with a Nerf football. And so watching this football scene in this movie made me feel really nostalgic for when I was a kid watching this movie. And this idea of just being in Southern California and having a pickup game of football, it didn't strike me as weird. It struck me as like, yeah, that's what we used to do in the 90s. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. You didn't think Bodhi was the bad guy when he first showed up?
Not when he first showed up. I mean, I had a suspicion that like, yeah, we're looking for masked people, and this could be one of them. I mean, here's a new character, so I had a second of suspicion. But just in my head, I was like, no, this guy. I always see him on the poster. They're back to back. They're bros. That can't be. So yes and no. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of. I didn't know a lot about this movie. So.
Well, let me tell you, our faithful audience, the character Johnny Utah had no fucking clue. Not even a hint of a clue. He meets this guy, Bodhi, who's the alpha male of this surfing group, and he's like, cool. Now, where are those criminals at? And him and Angelo Pappas, They recover a hair sample from one of the bank robberies, and through toxin analysis, be like, they have this subplot like, oh, if we could capture hair samples from different surfers at different beaches, we can know what beach our bank robbers hang out at. Because, and this is legitimately a crucial plot point of the movie, surfers only surf at one beach.
Right.
Surfers are quote unquote territorial. So if you find the beach they're at on one day, that's the beach they're at every day.
All the days.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, thinking of like the idea to find every single surfer in real life. Like we got to find a surfer. I have to get the hair sample of every surfer out there. That's not fucking possible.
Yeah.
This should have been more of a nightmare in the movie. Like they should have portrayed it more.
This should have been the whole movie.
Oh my God.
They only need to get one surfer per beach or a couple samples per beach.
To find out the beach.
How many beaches are in Southern California? I don't know, 100?
Yeah.
So they only got to go to 100 beaches
Get
and
that's
samples.
steal 100 hair samples, of which we see 2.
Right.
They get 2 hair samples on camera. One is Gary Busey, and he goes up to 2 kids smoking pot and basically shoves a badge in their face and then cuts their hair. And that was actually pretty funny because this kid's like, oh, he didn't bust us. Dude, he cut my hair. Dude, he cut my fucking hair. He's just so confused.
Yeah, but he could have busted us.
Yeah.
But he lost my hair.
And then Keanu Reeves goes up and is like to another surfer, bro, there's a wicked spider in your hair, bro, and like yanks his hair out. I saved your life. I don't know. This works. They find the beach. They find the beach, ladies and gentlemen.
Got him.
We found the beach.
We see those 2 instances, and it works. So then they go to the beach that they know the bank robbers are at, and that's where you were talking about. Gary Busey's in his car, and they have a stakeout. And Keanu Reeves basically gets confronted by 4 psycho surfers, one of which is Anthony Kiedis of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Which, when I saw him, my first thought was, why did we put all the Chili Peppers in movies back then?
Yeah.
We had like Flea and shit.
This was within a year of Flea almost running Marty McFly off the road.
Yeah, why did we do this? What was this about?
I think the Red Hot Chili Peppers are just good-looking young guys from Los Angeles, and they're just in the art scene, and they
ready to be in movies.
Yeah, they just were friends with the actors.
And from everything that I've heard back then to how much they would charge to be in a movie, they basically said they would give it away now.
Shut up. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Some people got it, some people didn't.
The directors actually saw Anthony Kiedis, and they said, what you got? I got to get it, put it in my movie.
Yeah, that really happened.
Wow, that was a setup.
They were shooting under the bridge. So.
All right, I'm not going to add anything to this.
Yeah. Anthony Kiedis didn't get paid anything for this movie, and they actually asked him if he wanted any payment. He's like, I'm gonna take it on the other side.
That's cool.
When he dies.
Yeah.
Other than like back in pay, but okay.
No, that's good.
I'm trying to think of any other Red Hot Chili Peppers songs I know. Anyway, let's move on.
Nah, they probably suck.
Anthony Kiedis is arguably the fourth or fifth most famous person in this movie. Unarguably, without a doubt, has the smallest role in this film.
Yeah.
Apparently, Anthony Kiedis was going to have a bigger role in this movie in this fight scene, but he didn't show up for fight training.
Oh.
Every actor in this movie was required to show up and get fight training by a special martial arts master. Anthony Kiedis was the only person who didn't show up. So in this movie, he is knocked out in one punch.
Yeah.
And he is out of the movie.
There you
So maybe show up on practice day.
Yeah, what were you doing?
If you get cast in a movie, show up for the rehearsal.
Yeah.
You might not be in the movie very much. Johnny Utah's getting his ass kicked by these four guys. Then Patrick Swayze, Bodhi, shows up to help him. He's like a kung fu master.
I guess,
They whoop ass. And then Angelo Papas shows up at the last minute. And you think, oh no, he's going to blow his cover. But then he's like, oh, you seen a kid running through here with a radio? I thought that was a funny scene.
I thought so too. That was well done because it was like he's gonna blow the cover. Oh no, he got through it.
So, Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze, they become friends at this moment. Bodhi is Patrick Swayze's character's name. He invites Keanu to a party. They start hanging out. We learn that Bodhi is really spiritual. Oh, those guys you fought, they're just like neo-Nazis, dude. They're not into the spiritual side of surfing. I'm going to paraphrase here. This is, it's not boring, but not a lot happens. I think a lot happens in this. It just doesn't sound very good to just sum it up. But when you're watching it, it's moving along at a brisk pace.
And you also you get okay, these are the four guys.
It's character development.
That's what they want you to think is these are the four guys who are the ex-presidents, these psychos.
Yeah.
So we got to stop those guys that just fought him at the beach.
Here's all the character development that happens at this point in the movie. Keanu falls in love with this girl, Tyler. He becomes friends with Bodhi. He realizes that Bodhi is some surf guru who leads a surf pack around the beaches here. And at the same time, he's failing to discover where the ex-presidents are. So his boss and everybody at the FBI is getting increasingly pissed off. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing up there? You're catching babes and surfing waves. We need you to be an agent. Eventually, he organizes a sting operation on Anthony Kiedis and the other members of that group, and we get an action scene where they basically raid the house, and it breaks out into a gunfight.
The part of that which I thought was awesome, I like the lawnmower sequence, or the fact
that was harrowing.
The fact that he looks through the window. First off,
it's a good scene.
It is a good scene, but why was Keanu Reeves there? You're gonna blow your cover. Bad idea. But he wants to notify Gary Busey yo, do not go in there. They got a whole arsenal of shit, but there's a lawnmower next door, which he cannot communicate through the walkie-talkie.
Well,
it was very stressful.
He thinks these are the ex-presidents. He thinks he's there because he's like, I'm about to close the case.
Right. But still, that scene was very intense and very high, oh, what's going to happen? Liked it. And then the whole, the fight was... Did you think the naked woman stabbing people in the back was weird?
I thought it was awesome. You know what? Okay, so this scene is very suspenseful. It's kind of like four FBI agents closing around a house, but the guys in the house are getting antsy. And Gary Busey's at the front door, talking to a girl. Have you seen my dog? I'm looking for my dog. And they're like, they're fucking, get the guns, shoot. Inside joke for Rocco. When the gunfight actually breaks out and they start shooting, there's a girl in the shower taking a shower.
Yeah.
And the shower, it's a glass door and it gets all shot up. I thought that was cool. Usually in a scene, that girl is just screaming.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
1,000 times.
Yeah, but in this scene, Keanu Reeves, he goes in the house and that girl starts kicking his ass.
Yeah.
That girl is the only person in this movie who beats up Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And I actually think it's a cool little feminist win for Catherine Bigelow to say the only bad guy in this movie who can beat our main character is a naked woman.
A naked girl, yeah.
I thought that was cool. And when the naked woman another agent comes in with a gun. She starts stabbing him in the back with a knife. And I was like, this naked chick in this one scene is like more badass than half the dudes.
Where's
in
the
this
movie about her?
I would take a whole movie about naked chick.
Absolutely.
Naked chick bank robber. Oh, I guess she's a drug dealer. Because, what?
Oh, I would go as far to say I would love a movie that's just a lot of naked chicks.
Yeah. And also, you probably didn't know, that was Catherine Bigelow cameo. That was the Hitchcock move.
No way.
She pulled a Shyamalan.
She's naked in all her movies.
Yeah. Catherine Bigelow is
She
always...
put her own spin on.
Yeah, she puts her own boobs in every movie. Just kidding.
That's just something I do.
No, that would be gutsy if it was. That's something Shyamalan and Hitchcock never had.
Yeah, they didn't have the balls
Yeah.
to do
Yeah,
it.
get naked in your movies,
Yeah.
guys. Then I'll respect you.
Yeah, show your Hitchcock.
There you go.
Yeah, show me that Shyamalan. I'm gonna let that breathe, and we're gonna move on.
Make me go, night. Anyway,
What?
it's my reaction.
Okay. Okay.
We're done. No more.
No more.
That's
no
it.
more penis jokes. We're gonna move on. They find out it's the wrong gang and that they blew another agent's cover. There's another undercover cop. In every movie about an undercover cop, they accidentally fuck up another undercover cop's
That's true.
Yeah.
investigation.
Yeah.
There's always a gang member who you didn't know was another cop.
Right.
That happens here. So then, this is great. At this point in the movie, you're probably thinking, where the fuck are we going in this movie? We've spent so much time.
Yeah.
This dude chased the wrong gang. He's fucking up his career. Are we just spinning our wheels? How is he going to find the ex-presidents now? And he's walking down the beach contemplating all this. And he sees Bodie out there surfing with his 3 friends. 4 of them. 4 surfers.
Oh.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
4 ex-presidents. Hold on a sec.
Wait a second.
I'm supposed to be looking for surfers. Wait a second. Bodie is surfers. Hold on. I'm 2 seconds away from putting this together. I'm missing something. And then, ladies and gentlemen, one of the surfers pulls out his ass.
Uh-oh.
And for no reason, he just pulls his pants down while he is surfing.
And moons everyone
and
else.
Keanu Reeves, literally in the most Hitchcockian moment of the movie, he sees the butt cheeks and it flashes back to the ass from the robbery. Actually, it doesn't, but
It might as well.
it might as well. He sees the ass. And that's when he finally puts 2 and 2 together that these guys might be the criminals he is looking for.
Shit.
It was all about that ass.
It's that ass.
Without the butt cheeks, this movie would not work.
Mm-hmm.
So then we come to the end of the movie where basically he says, Angelo Papas, I know who the robbers are, and they're gonna rob this bank. I saw them scoping it out off camera. It's just a conversation. I saw them stake out this bank. So they go to the bank, and it's just Angelo Papas and Johnny Utah. They don't bring any backup.
They don't tell anyone about this plan.
Yeah. And they're there forever, and they get hungry, so they go to buy sandwiches. And while they're buying sandwiches, the bank gets robbed. And they're totally oblivious to it. Until the bank robbers come out of the bank and hop into the car, and they're like, holy shit, we missed the bank robbery. Get them. And they start, like, unloading guns on them.
Unloading, and I kept thinking, how many fucking bullets does Keanu Reeves have in this gun? He shot like 15 times. And like just broad daylight military, just boom, boom, boom. It's like, this is not a good idea. You shouldn't do that.
That's what you were thinking?
Yeah.
I was thinking, can you just shoot at people who haven't done any violent crimes? Like, these guys robbed a bank, but you're trying to murder them.
I mean, maybe you can. I don't know the rules.
I just thought like, these guys took a bunch of money. They deserve to die.
Well, you can't take that.
I feel like, yeah, exactly. Got to protect the wealth. So it turns into a shootout and then a car chase and then a foot chase. And
I just thought the foot chase going through, like, it was so intense. It ended up being,
it's a famous foot chase.
Is it?
People have like talked about this, and there's a bunch of like trivia about
they're
how
going
they filmed
through
it.
people's houses. They're throwing pit bulls at each other. It's fucking gnarly. It's a cool chase. It really was.
Yeah, at one point, the bad guy Keanu Reeves comes around a corner and the bad guy is holding a pit bull and just goes like, "Ah!" and throws it at him.
Yeah.
I'll repeat that. Keanu Reeves comes around a corner and the bad guy is already holding a pit bull and throws it at him.
That almost sounds like a video game villain.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
hate this guy. He throws pit bulls.
Yeah, he's a pit bull thrower.
How does Keanu Reeves get out of that situation? He kicks the shit out of that dog.
Yeah.
He literally, like Johnny Cage, Mortal Kombat, shadow kicks that dog off camera.
Nice.
There was a whole breakdown of how they filmed that, where like it was one trainer tossing it to another trainer of a distance of about 3 feet, and they had padding all over the ground. So kudos, because it looked like he did a fatality on that.
It did. That was a stunt dog.
Tell the ASPCA to sit out this one. Boom.
He chases the main guy, Ronald Reagan, into a sewage drain, and they have to make a big, like, 10-foot jump, and he injures his leg.
Yeah.
And so Ronald Reagan is climbing out, and Keanu Reeves points his gun at him, and right before he shoots him, they have, like, a moment. They
He looks at
connect
those
eyes.
beautiful Swayze eyes
Yeah, and
and
he goes,
thinks, I can't kill this.
I can't kill Patrick Swayze.
No way.
I love him too much. And he lets him get away.
He misses. But
He
here's
let-
the thing.
He shoots his gun into the air.
We saw in the beginning, he doesn't miss. So what happened? What happened here?
I did laugh really hard at him getting mad and firing his gun into the air. Ah! Like, yeah, those are all landing somewhere. That was cracking me up.
He killed, like, so many innocent bystanders.
More pit bulls, probably.
Hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
So, the president's got away. Johnny Utah probably had his cover blown. He goes back to sleep with his girlfriend, but then she discovers his FBI badge, and so he wakes up, and she's pointing a gun at him, and she's like, "Tell me the truth. Are your parents even dead?" And he's like, "No, they're not dead. I just used you to get close, but I still love you." And she puts the gun down and walks out on him. By the way, I'm just going to jump ahead to the end of the movie here. Spoiler alert. We never see them ever talk ever again until at the end of the movie, they are back in love.
Yes.
Just going to point
Good.
that out.
That is true.
Good.
This is the last
That's the way it should be.
conversation they ever have before they kiss and
I
roll
feel
credits.
like the movie was ridiculous the whole time. And I'm fine with this. For the record, I'm fine. But once she walks out, the movie gets so ridiculous. It's like next level bonkers to me.
It does, but at the same time, my enjoyment went up.
Yeah, because you're doing fun shit. But like the next scene, like for sure, his cover was blown. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Brody we know this. Everyone knows. He knows his cover is blown. Everyone knows. But then Bodie shows up and it's like, let's go. And it's like, okay. And they go off together. It's like, I would not. First off, go back to that house. Like, he knows where you are, bro. Like, you're screwed.
He basically, Bodie shows up and basically forces him to go skydiving. We're all going to go skydiving right now. And Keanu Reeves is like, they're in the plane, basically. Cut to they're in the plane. Who packed my chute? Oh, I don't know. Have this one. Oh, no, that one's no good. Here, try this one. Well, you can have mine. Do you want yours? All the chutes are mixed up. All right, let's go. And yeah, a moment ago, we were in a bank robbery movie, and now it's like, so beautiful. The majesty of skydiving. It's like it turns into an IMAX movie.
It honestly, to me, was like, I feel like this scene should have been before the chase scene. That makes more sense to me. Like, why is this here?
I think they just wanted to take the movie up to another level, make it even more extreme. So the third act is just, we're going to go skydiving.
Which Patrick Swayze was really doing. All those shots, it's clearly him skydiving. And when it comes to Keanu, it's like, oh, this isn't real. Like, you're not really
stunt
skydiving.
double.
But Patrick Swayze, you're out there doing this shit.
I was impressed with the skydiving, which I said, this movie probably had more of an impact in 1991.
Yeah.
The whole idea of extreme sports. Whoa.
Yeah, like whoa, pushing the limit.
I've seen skydivers, but watching this, I feel like, I can't think of a different movie that has a skydiving sequence in it that's as beautiful or like makes skydiving look as cool and majestic as they do in this movie.
I mean, the Power Rangers movie is the only thing.
I thought about the Power Rangers movie.
They-
God, that'd be-
I think they do it better in Point Break. gotta
Maybe. I mean, there's a little, yeah.
But Tommy does have a surfboard for some reason
Yeah.
in the air.
I forgot. I don't know if I've seen the Power Rangers movie recently. I don't recall the
Well,
skydiving scene.
well,
It's the very beginning.
What's great, Derek, is that's the first 5 minutes, so you can just turn it off right after
I do
that.
remember seeing Tommy with a surfboard, or a snowboard, thinking, why does he have that?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like it
and
makes
you
sense.
know,
what?
and you know, think
Hey,
about.
was that inspired by Point Break?
Probably.
Oh, probably.
Do you
Yeah.
think there?
Yes.
Hey, there's a surfing movie with an epic skydiving scene that I think we should just start Power Rangers with.
Yeah.
Surfing and skydiving. What if Tommy has a board with it
Yeah.
up there?
And I think the thought process is probably, look, these kids aren't going to see Point Break.
Yeah, they'll never
give
know.
them a scene like that in this. Yeah,
Probably.
But it's funny thinking back. What did the snowboard add to the skydiving? Like they're all falling in that scene,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, no, I didn't mean to derail to this movie, but he's kind of got it on. But I don't ever see anything that's like, whoa, he did that.
I mean, he did like a flip, but everyone was
Yeah,
doing
that's
flips.
true. Maybe he
they were all
did.
doing flips. The point was they wanted to look cooler,
Yes.
and maybe it worked.
Maybe that'll be an upcoming movie, and we'll compare and contrast.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah. Anyway,
Skydiving looked cool. It was a fun sequence. I thought it was gonna be like, we're gonna jump out. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I know you're Johnny Utah from the FBI, but no, it was like we're gonna jump out.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes of cool skydiving footage.
It actually did make my palm sweat.
It
Like
was-
in how much they were.
It was a stunt sequence.
Yeah.
It's one of those moments where you're like, this doesn't add anything to the story, but
Yeah.
that's really Patrick Swayze in the air. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. You think about, well, I don't know if I would be able to film this movie.
yeah.
You know?
Also, there was a part where it's like, is his parachute gonna open? Like, you
Yeah.
know, like that was
Yeah.
a little suspenseful. Like, is he gonna die here?
Yeah.
And you know what? At the end of the day, a 1991 movie actually having real skydivers in it, to me, for your money, is better than any modern day movie, which would just
Yeah.
CGI these people
Yeah.
and do wire work, which, you know, there's a shot in this movie. Actually, I was reading that Patrick Swayze was an experienced skydiver. And
Yeah.
he's like, I'm going to do all my own stunts, skydiving stunts. And the producers were like, okay, but you can't skydive outside of production while we're filming this for insurance reasons, which he did anyways. But he said, I insist that you have to have me on camera doing a jump. That's in my contract. So that scene where he says, there's a scene later where there's another skydiving moment, and he looks at Keanu and goes, adios, amigo, and then just drops out of the plane, and the camera looks over, and they just watch him fall, and he turns into a dot. All one take. Super impressive.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
To show he's really doing it. That's
To
cool.
show he's really doing it. An actor really doing it is fucking cool.
Yeah,
like
it's cool.
It just gave me chills, just being like, holy shit, Patrick Swayze just jumped out of a fucking plane. Actually did it.
I knew Patrick Swayze from shit like Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
I've never seen Ghost, but this movie made me think Patrick Swayze's fucking cool.
He's pretty cool.
He's pretty fucking cool.
I don't know. For my money, I kind of think a CGI Vin Diesel jumping off a helicopter is kind of
No.
cooler. Because then Vin
More
can
cool.
be safe. I just think it's safety is
Safety's
cool.
cool. Safety
So
first.
You want to make fun of me? That's on you. But
Patrick Swayze, by the way, was 38 when he made this movie, which looks good for 38.
I was
good.
gonna say actually, would not have thought.
I was thinking he's like 30, but no, he's almost 40.
yeah.
Damn.
So they survive the jump, and then it's like, Johnny, let me show you something. We got your girlfriend tied up, and we're gonna kill her. So that sucks. You're gonna hang out with me now. This part of the movie was a little convoluted.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
now we got literally the line is now we got the same goal. You want to get me to where I want to be.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, what's the plan here? What are we doing?
The plan I think is there's a guy who's gonna kill her
Yeah.
unless he shows up to save her in time or something. So then they have to rob. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
but instead of going to her, all right, let's go to her. No, we're gonna rob a bank together.
Yeah.
So then they go to rob a bank, but Johnny Utah is in on the bank robbery now. He's being forced to do it. They're gonna kill his girlfriend if he doesn't cooperate. You understand.
Everyone's got a mask but him.
Yeah.
So you can see his face.
So they go in and they're robbing the bank, and then typical bank robbery, everything's going good. It cuts to a guy on the ground who looks over at the security guard and he goes, "Hey, I'm a cop. I'm an off-duty cop." To me, this guy was the most heinous villain
Yeah.
of the whole movie. Nobody has been shot in any bank robbery. All of these bank robberies go off with no violence.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze's character is even said in this movie, I despise violence.
Right.
Cut to this cop on the ground. I ain't gonna lay here and let these fucking bank robbers get away with this shit. And he looks at the security guard, and the security guard, this is hilarious because the security guard's like
It's funny.
almost crying.
He's like begging him.
He's like, no, don't do
Please
it.
don't do
it.
this.
And the
Please
cop
don't
is
do
like,
this.
when I make a move, you better back me up, you little bitch. Yeah. Let's go. And he pulls out his gun and he starts shooting at the ex-president. Turns into a fucking bloodbath.
Yes.
Guess who gets killed? The cop,
And the security guard.
the security guard, and all the robbers. Not all the robbers, but a couple of the robbers get shot. Keanu gets shot. It's a shit show, man. So the bank robbery goes crazy, and Patrick Swayze's like, fuck, let's go. And they jump in a car and race off to get away. They make their getaway.
But they leave Keanu at the crime scene.
That's right. They leave Keanu at the crime scene, and the FBI shows up and they arrest him. They're like, "You're a bad guy now." And his partner, Angel Potatoes, is like, "No, it can't be. It can't be. I don't know what's going on. Do me a favor. The kid, he's all twisted. Let me book him. Let me drive him in." And the guy from Scrubs is like, "God damn it, fine.
This is a good idea.
This is obviously you two guys are straight shooters. I'll let you do it." So Angelo Papas takes Johnny Unitas and
Name gets me every time.
yeah, and instead of going to the police station, they chase these bad guys down to the airport, and they're like, "We're gonna get the jump on them." They confront them. A gun shootout breaks out again. Angelo Papas gets blown away.
Dude, those fries are burnt.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good joke about his death, but it's just so cliche. You know,
He's got shot in the back a couple times.
classic death scene. Your partner gets shot. You run over. Are you okay? And it's like, yeah, you better get those bastards.
I actually like that he didn't say anything. He just made
Yeah.
noises. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
I was laughing super hard at that.
So Keanu Reeves runs onto the airplane and it takes off. And now we're gonna do another skydiving scene, but this time they don't have a parachute for Keanu. So I guess the character conflict is you've just been arrested, involved in this bank robbery. Your partner, instead of taking you to jail, took you to this airport where he was killed, and now you're fleeing the country. So Bodhi and his one remaining partner, they're going to skydive out of the airplane.
The partner who was shot by Gary Busey, by the way, so he is dying.
Yeah, he's dying. They're going to skydive out of the airplane. There's no parachute for Keanu. So I guess they're like, well, the airplane's going to land and you're going to be in trouble. Keanu is like, fuck that.
Love this part.
The two guys jump out of the plane and Keanu jumps after them, even though he doesn't have a parachute.
Badass.
I was thinking, I didn't remember this part because I saw this when I was a kid. I was like, oh, he's going to catch up to the dead guy and take his chute and survive.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But that's not what he does. He catches up with Bodhi and it basically is like, I'm going to arrest you. I mean,
Stay right there so I can arrest you.
Yeah, he grabbed a gun before he jumped out of the airplane, and so he grabs him and he points a gun in his face and he's like, "You're under arrest. Pull your parachute."
And then
And Patrick Swayze is like, "I'm not gonna pull
No.
it, so you pull it."
But to do it, you have to let go of the gun.
This is great movie logic, action movie logic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pull my parachute. You pull my parachute, but you can only do it with your left hand. The hand that happens to be holding a gun.
Right.
You can't do it with your right hand. You cannot.
So you're going to kill me?
Stop. You better not.
Yeah, but I want to pause on you can't do it with your right hand. The logic being because then you'll let go of me. Right. Yeah. Totally disregarding the fact that I was not holding on to you before this conversation started.
Right.
I literally just grabbed you, but now I can't let go of you. Okay. Well, guess what happens? He tosses the gun and pulls the ripcord.
We also need him alive to save his girlfriend, so he can't just kill him yet.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. That would have been something smart for Patrick Swayze's character to point out.
Yeah.
Instead of, if you use your right hand, you're fucked.
Yeah.
They land.
First off, he pulls the chute far too late. And like I saw this, like they're like, I don't know, 10 feet from the ground. He pulls that thing and they land so hard, but I thought there's no way they survive this. There's no way.
Yeah. Well, they
their
do.
their femurs would be like through their thighs and shit.
There's
you
no
know?
It
way.
actually does injure Johnny Unitas's leg.
His
Yeah.
knee
He
again.
has
Johnny
a previous-
Unitas.
Johnny Utah. He has a previous leg injury. Keeps coming back. Patrick Swayze is able to escape. But like I said, the girlfriend who was abducted and held at knife point, she's released from this truck and she just goes running to Keanu Reeves to embrace him in a hug. And I'm thinking, the last time you saw this guy, you were pointing a gun at him and saying, "Are your parents even really dead?"
Yeah.
Suddenly they're still in love. Okay. That would be the end of the movie, except it's not.
Uh-oh.
Flash forward to 9 months later.
Keanu, you can tell because his hair is a lot longer, so that's how you know.
Yeah, they don't say, they just flash forward. We left out a part during that character development segment of the movie when everything was happening. There was this long, whimsical speech that Bodhi gave, like, you know what the biggest wave in the world is? It's my dream wave. Once every 50 years, there's a 50-year storm that hits Australia. It's the biggest wave in the world. Cut to that beach. It's a storm out. Keanu Reeves is there. Bodhi is there. I knew you'd be here. It's a once-in-a-lifetime wave. I'm not going to let you ride it. They have a fist fight. It ends with Keanu Reeves handcuffing himself to Bodhi.
So we can't ride the wave.
And all these cops are like coming in on helicopters with machine guns. Like they're taking down all of ISIS.
Right.
I was like, isn't this a little bit of overkill for a surfer?
Yeah, well, you would think, but Patrick Swayze is pretty badass.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, there was I like the ending of this movie. I think it works. It is completely cheesy.
Yeah.
It is campy. It makes no sense. It sucks. But I still like it.
Sure.
Patrick Swayze's basically handcuffed and he's like, you win. Come on, man. You got me. I ain't going nowhere. Let me ride this wave. This is the only thing I've ever lived for in my life. My whole life, I've just looked forward to riding this wave. Just let me go. Come on.
Yeah.
It works. Keanu Reeves is like, yeah, fuck it. Go. Patrick
Yeah.
Swayze goes out, rides the biggest wave in the world, and the cops are like, you let him get away. And Keanu Reeves is like, no, I didn't. As he slowly walks away and takes his badge and
Throws it in the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
throws it into this.
See what I mean?
Casts it away.
Anybody with a badge, they're either putting it on the desk and walking away or they're throwing it.
I guess he doesn't want to be in the FBI anymore because Patrick Swayze goes off into that wave and washes away.
He just fucking dies.
Yeah, he disappears. He basically lets the sea take him. He dies surfing.
Like doing what he loves.
Dies
What
doing
a
what
way
he
to go.
James Cameron has, if you know, some people like open-ended. Well, it's up to the viewer. Maybe he got away. Who knows? James Cameron confirmed, like, no, he died.
Okay. Thanks, James.
James Cameron made a point to do an interview, be like, I wrote it. He died. He died. So there you go. Bodhi dies at the end of the movie.
Wow.
I love when directors just cut through, you know, like these things are famous for being vague or whatever. And then you talk to the director, it's like, no, this.
Yeah, it doesn't. No.
I don't care what you think.
I think Ridley Scott's done that a couple times too, and it's cracked me up. Like, there's vague stuff about people love Blade Runner because of certain implications, and he'll do screenings where it's like, yeah, so it's this. Bye, see ya. It's like, what? All right.
Do you know that Ridley Scott was their first choice to direct this movie? It was Ridley Scott, but he was doing Thelma and Louise, so he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
No,
about Ridley.
you're thinking of Tim Burton.
I don't know if I am.
Yeah, I said saw that Ridley Scott was attached to direct this movie, and Matthew Broderick was going to play Johnny Utah.
Yeah, I heard it was that, and then like people who also auditioned were Charlie Sheen, Val Kilmer, Willem Dafoe, and
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. That's right.
Now, Willem Dafoe could have nailed it. Sorry, Keanu, but Willem Dafoe would have been.
I'm something of a surfer myself.
Yeah.
Something I thought was interesting, little fun fact, is that all 4 ex-presidents are killed in order from when they took office. So that's how you know who's going to die first, is who was in office first.
Oh.
Interesting, huh? How about that?
Yeah, and there's a character at one point in the movie, it just makes an offhanded comment, oh, I'm not going to live to make it to 30 anyways, and then he gets shot on camera. So,
There you go.
Set up and pay off. Classic storytelling.
The budget for this was $24 million, and it made $83 million. I think it was a hit. I think this was a hit.
It was a hit, and they even had a sequel planned that was written and was slated to come out in 1993, and nobody knows what happened.
That's really weird.
There's no reason given why that movie was never made.
I'll tell you.
This movie was oh, you know?
No. Well, this is my guess, and I think I'm right. They got divorced, and that was it. I think those two rode together, and there was probably something in the divorce. That's it.
Yeah, that
They
would
got
be about the
divorced.
time when Catherine Bigelow would have been going through her divorce, and she didn't put out another movie until 1995. They could have got a different director, but they decided not to do it.
That's just my theory.
Point Break 2. Maybe they were like, so James, we need you to write a sequel. Bodhi died.
Yeah.
Well,
that's probably part of it too, honestly.
That
yeah.
wasn't really clear. Well, it's clear to me. He's dead. All right, James.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I hadn't even considered that. It's like they definitely had lightning in a bottle with this, and they wanted to capture it again. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, you're not bringing that guy back,
Yeah.
and all that other stuff. So yeah, I bet it was a perfect storm of just almost like a
Once in
perfect
50
wave.
year storm. Yeah.
You know, fucking sequels. They just start with, yeah, he got away.
Exactly.
Hey, Bodhi's back. He's robbing banks in Hawaii. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Tequila. I don't know
Yeah.
why I went to. That's the theme of Point Break 2.
Oh man. And honestly, a Point Break 2 with no Angelo Papas. No, thank
no,
you.
thank you.
No. Lo siento.
No mas.
No mas.
Okay. Is that for popcorn shakers? Do you think? Do we cover it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I picked this movie on a whim. I'm so glad that I did. I loved this movie, even though there's so many holes and flaws in it. I had a fun time watching it. I would give it 3 shakers. I give it 3.
Nice. I give it 3 out of 5 as well. It's a 90s action movie that doesn't really go wrong as long as you're not expecting it to go right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much I love it, but yeah, it was honestly like, it wasn't what I expected. It defied my expectations, that's for sure. And yeah, it's a solid movie. I would say 3 too. Yeah, I would say 3 is
Pretty
is a
consistent.
pretty
I don't know how often
safe
we
bet.
rate the movie the same all the way across the
Yeah.
board. That's rare. Cool.
Well, we will next week.
Oh,
We definitely will. You're going to see the first triple fiver because I am going to take us to the streets because I think, there's a lot of musicians out there that go unappreciated, and we don't appreciate their backstory enough and what they fought through to become legendary hip hop artists. I want to watch 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying. This is a movie that I never intended to ever watch. And then we were at like some convention and it came on TV while I was like in the hotel. And I just kind of ended up watching it. I was like, this wasn't what I expected. So I want to see what you guys think about it.
all
So
right.
we're gonna do
Well,
that
I've definitely
next
never
time.
seen it. So
I've definitely never seen it, and I hope that I can find a clean version because I do not want to hear any curse words. So I don't know if there are.
They
any in
sell
this
it at
movie.
Walmart.
They have a special cut.
Censor it for you at
They have a
Walmart.
special cut, Get Rich or Try Dying. And
I
that
can
one
handle a
has
couple.
no-
I can handle the shit every now and again, and a damn is okay. But anything beyond that,
Yeah.
well, I'm not gonna be a happy camper.
It-
I'm gonna let you know.
There is definitely a scene, you'll like it. There's definitely in the opening, 50 Cent exclaims, "Off fiddlesticks." And that kind of sets the tone for the rest of
Okay.
the movie. It's
All
not
right.
that
All right.
bad.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Watch it with your church youth group.
So we're
Okay.
gonna be back with 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand. No, Get Rich or Die Trying.
I almost said that
The
too
prequel.
earlier. I love that.
Next
game.
week on Movie Club. Watch it and then come back and you can see what we think of it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Just one last wave. Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye bye, everybody.